You can unmute yourself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ryan, can we start chanting Jai? You can sit down at one place, Ryan. You can unmute yourself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Lots of
Ram.
important work, so I'm gonna be coming back in 10 minutes.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Jay, I be chanting. Can I hear you chanting?
Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Krishna.
Mataji, my rounds are finished.
Okay,
I finished my round.
very nice. The whole round you finished?
Rama,
Yes,
How
Mataji.
how fast were you chanting? Ryan, can you chant me and show me?
I didn't do that many rounds so fast. I usually don't do my
Subhadra
rounds
Giridhari,
fast.
did you finish one full round
Yes,
or 5 minutes?
Mataji.
Okay.
Ticket address.
Okay. Can you?
I
Okay.
also
Okay.
finished.
You also finished. Okay. Just waiting to share.
Mataji, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mataji, does Dumbledore Kartik month end at November 15th for us?
November.
I think.
1 second. Just let me see.
Mataji, when is Diwali?
Diwali is 31st and the 1st, right?
In like what month?
Diwali is now this the end of, oh, you know what, like
In
31st
like
is your Halloween, right? So 31st and the
so
1st is
so
Diwali, but then
Halloween Diwali. So Halloween's Diwali. So it's
yeah,
gonna be on
technically
Halloween.
technically it's going to be that way, but then it will depend upon the it will depend upon the temples, that when are you celebrating Govardhan
I don't
Puja.
know.
Okay, how when are you when are you all celebrating Govardhan Puja?
I don't know, Mataji. I just heard it right now because you
Okay,
said.
in your temples might send a message when they are, either it would be on the same day or it would be on Saturday, Sunday, right? So just check with your temples. Okay, just give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Possible? Wait. Okay. So we will start with our class. Okay, Subhadra Girdhari, can you start with the prayers?
Yes, Mataji. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिदन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. Anjana Gopika Mataji.
See, now it's coming. One second. I again close and I'll give you
Yeah.
a full history. One second. Not to tell you. Yes, no. Okay, so something. So I was doing Hari Hari, no? And
Yeah.
then it happened. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's no. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Okay, so then we have. Okay. Okay, so today we are going to study the verse 11.55. Okay. Mm, 1 second. Okay. Okay, so now what we will do is. Okay, Ryan, can you read out this for me?
Yes, Mataji, the verse is considered to be the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. This verse is clearly explains the process of which one can only attain success. It is in his spiritual activity, devotion.
Okay. Now, before we start with the verse, I just want to give you a essence of what the this verse is. Okay, so the verse which we are going to do is considered as the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Now, what does that mean? How can you explain that? Okay, this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. That means, do you feel that this verse is very, very important?
Yes, Mataji.
Right? So essence means, like, suppose you have an essay, okay, or you have a paragraph, and then you have to just find out the key points, or find out the important lines from that paragraph, or find out what is the message which is conveyed by the author. So then in 2 or 3 lines or 4 or 5 lines, you are trying to compress that whole paragraph and then tell what it means. So that becomes the essence of that paragraph, right? So now this verse is not only of one paragraph. It says that this verse is considered to be the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. That means, just imagine, that means this verse must be so important, right? Now, in the whole Bhagavad Gita, how it is, it's a question answer session, right? Like Krishna is asking questions, sorry, Arjuna is asking questions, Krishna is answering, and then at this point which we have come, the 11th chapter which we have come, it is that the Lord is now the Lord is explaining about himself and why things are important, right? Again, which chapter are we on?
Chapter 11, Mataji.
Chapter 11, right? So in this chapter we are all trying to study that what the Lord is trying to tell, because now the Lord has shown his Virat Roop and now he's explaining about himself. So in one word we can say that this is the glorification of the Lord which we are learning, and at the same time the instructions which are precisely given, right? Earlier it was like, okay, you have to do this, you have to do that. Now the Lord is giving us precise explanations and reasons to why things are to be done, right? And that is the reason this verse is very, very important. Now, see this verse, which clearly explains the process by which you can attain spiritual activity. Okay. Now, how can you all think about what are the process by which we can attain the Lord or go ahead in our spiritual activity? Yes, Subhadra Giridhari.
So Mataji, we can attain Krishna by having like a pure heart, Mataji, like being a pure devotee with a pure heart and not being attached to the material world and chanting.
Mataji, I have something to add, like my sister, but mainly there's only 9 processes of devotional service. If we
Very good.
do one of these services to Krishna,
Then we can go back to the supreme, the personality of Godhead.
by
Yeah.
with a pure heart, then you can go back home, back to God.
Back home, back to Godhead, right? So then the 9 process of like, okay, I'll just add on over here so that it becomes easier. So what does Krishna say is that if one has to succeed in the spiritual activity, if one follows with this verse which is coming up, it will be very easy for that person. Okay. Now, why to attain Krishna, or who can attain Krishna? Why do we attain Krishna? A very simple answer. Why do we have to attain Krishna?
Because he's the supreme
Personality
personality
of
of Godhead,
Godhead.
and also he's the supreme Lord,
Controller of
Mataji.
the universe.
Okay. I want everybody to answer in one line. Or why do we need to attain Krishna? Yes, Param?
Mataji, we can attain Krishna. Who can attain Krishna is a
Who,
pure,
why? Okay, let me just.
who's
Who
a
can
pure,
attain? Why to attain?
yeah.
Yeah.
So Mataji, who can attain is a pure devotee,
Mm-hmm.
because pure devotees, they just they're really, like, they go in ecstasy, and
Okay.
and why they want to attain Krishna is that they understand that uh that we should not be in material things, like we should be like go to parties and everything, because they know that by the miracles that they see, that
Mm.
they have strong faith in Krishna.
Okay. So because of when Param said something, we had a new question added. Okay, we'll go to that. So, and why to attain Krishna?
Why to attain Krishna is because they want to know about Krishna, and they want to they want to hear the nectar of the Lord's
Okay.
pastimes. They really into it, and they really want to see
Right.
Krishna. They're like eager.
Right. If you are heading to Disneyland, okay, then do you have any other goal in your mind? Suppose you start your journey that I need to go to Disneyland. What will you do? You will have your only aim. Will you go to some other place? If you have to go to California or Disneyland, you will just head your car or you'll start driving in that direction, right? You will not go the other way around, or you'll not go to some other place. You will always go in that direction, which is going to lead you to Disneyland. So, in the same way, when you have your destination, which is fixed, that okay, through bhakti, I need to go to. Yes, Param?
Have you been there?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. So then, yeah, what was the saying is, yeah, so then once your destination is fixed, only then you can move ahead in that direction, okay? And to move ahead in that direction, these 9 process of devotional service are very, very important, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. So all these process will lead you to Krishna, okay, or lead you in the process in the path of devotional service. We'll come to this question of who is a pure devotee later on. First, we'll go with our verse, okay? So we'll again go word by word and then we'll do this verse. Mat karma krin. This is one word which we'll do, okay? Mat karma krin.
Engage in doing my work.
No, 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 no. We're still doing the verse.
Oh. Matkarma
We'll
Krin.
repeat word after word, and then we'll do the recitation of the verse, right?
Okay, Mataji.
Mat karma krin.
Matkarma Krin.
I want everybody to repeat.
Matkarma Krin.
Mat karma krin.
Matkarma Krin.
Mat prano. Mat parmo.
Matparamo. Matparamo.
Mat karma krin.
Matkarma Krin.
Mat parmo.
Matparmo.
Mat parmo.
Matparmo.
Mat karma krin.
Matkarma Krin.
Mat parmo.
Matparmo.
Mad bhaktaha.
Madbhaktaha.
Mad bhaktaha.
Madbhaktaha.
Mad bhaktaha.
Madbhaktaha.
Sangavarjitaha.
Sangavartaha.
Sangavarjitaha.
Sangavartaha.
Madbhaktaha.
Madbhaktaha.
Sangavarjitaha.
Sangavartaha.
Nirvairaha.
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 Sarvabhuteshu.
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 Nirvairaha.
Nirvairaha.
Sarvabhuteshu.
Sarvabhuteshu.
Nirvairaha.
Nirvairaha.
Sarvabhuteshu.
Sarvabhuteshu.
Yah samam.
Yasamam.
Yah samam.
Yasamam.
Eti pandavaha.
Eti Pandava.
Mameti pandavaha.
Mameti Pavata. Pandava.
Mam eti pandavaha.
Mameti
Not
Pandava.
pandavaha, not pandava. Mam eti pandava.
Mameti Pandava.
Mam eti pandava.
Mameti Pandava.
Okay, when we are reciting the verse, look at the verse, because the learning process is that you are reading. When you're reading, your eyes are getting engaged in looking at the verse. And then when you're saying it, your mouth is saying it, but at the same time, you're hearing that verse as well. Okay? So with your eyes, with your ears, with your mouth, all the three senses, when you are going to say the verse, then it becomes easier for you to memorize it. Is anybody else doing something else, or we are on this verse? You can look at the look at the verse so that it becomes easier for you to understand. If you come on video, that's more than better. Okay. Mat karma krin.
Matkarma Krin.
Karma create.
Mat parmo.
Matparmo.
Mad bhaktaha.
Madbhaktaha.
Sangavarjitaha.
Sangavarjitaha.
Nirvairaha.
Nirvairaha.
Sarvabhuteshu.
Sarvabhuteshu.
Yahasa.
Yasa.
Mam eti pandava.
Mameti Pandava.
Mat karma krin mat paramo.
Matkarma Krin. Matparmo.
Mad bhaktaha sangavarjitaha.
Madbhakta Sangavarjitaha.
Nirvairah sarvabhuteshu.
Nirvairaha. Sarvabhuteshu.
Yah sa mameti pandava.
Yasa Mameti Pandava.
Mat karma krin mat paramo.
Matkarma Krin. Matparmo.
Mad bhakta sangavarjita.
Madbhakta Sangavarjitaha.
Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu.
Nirvaira Sarvabhuteshu.
Yah sa mameti pandava.
Yasa Mameti Pandava.
Mat karma mat Matkarma krin matparamo.
Matkarma kren matkarmo.
Madbhakta sangavarjita.
Madbhakta sangavar.
Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu.
Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu
Yah samameti pandava.
yasamameti pandava.
So we have who is first? Jay, can you recite the verse?
Matkarma karanapatmo.
Madkarma
Madbhakta
krin. This word which is there. Madkarma krin. Say it together.
Matkarma
Okay.
kren.
Very good.
Matkarma kren mahatparmo. Madbhakta sangvarjate. Nirvasesha sarvabhuteshu.
Nirvairaha.
Nirvairaha sarvabhuteshu. Yasamamiti pandava.
Very good. Param.
I'll go. Bad karma krit, bad paramo, bad bhakta sangavarjita, nirvana sarvabhuteshu yacha mam iti pandava.
Very good. Ryan.
Matkarma krit matprano matpaktya swanga rajatita
Varjitaha.
varjita nirvara sarvabhuteshu yasame sama iti pandava.
Okay. Can you repeat after me?
Yeah.
Matkarma krin matparamo.
Matkarma krit paramo
Madbhakta sangavarjita.
madbhakta sangha varjita
Nirvairah sarvabhuteshu.
nirvara sarvabhuteshu
Yah samameti pandava.
yasame ma eti pandava.
Very good. So this is Isha. Isha, is it? Isha, Vikram. Are you there?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, very good. All three of them are there. Okay. So everybody wants to recite it, or you want to recite it together? How do you want to go?
Together.
Okay. Go ahead.
Matkarma paramo madbhakta sangha varjitaha nirvaira sarvabhuteshu yasa mam eti pandava.
Very good. This is Vikram, Isha, and Kash. Okay, I'm missing the word.
Kashi.
Absolute Kashi.
Kashi. I remember they are so small. Remember the first classes when they had joined? Vikram, you've grown. Nice to see you all in a picture. Very nice. Okay. Subhadra Giridhari.
Yes, Mataji. Matkarma krin matparmo madbhakta sangha varjitaha nirvairai sarvabhuteshu yasamameti pandava.
Very good.
Yes, Mataji. Mad
Hari.
karma krim mat parama mad bhakta shanga varjitaha nirvarira sarvbhuteshu yasa samam eti pandavaha.
Pandava. It's not Pandavaha. Once I said Pandava, it's Pandava. Okay. Anybody? Janavi? I think Janavi is not on audio. No, Janavi is on audio. Janavi, can you recite the verse? Hi, Bol. Okay, let's see whenever she is able to recite it. Okay. So, anybody again wants to recite the verse?
Me. Mataji,
Okay,
can
go
I
ahead.
say it
Giridhari.
again?
Mataji, can we both say it?
Yes.
Mataji, can
go
I
ahead.
say?
Okay.
Yeah.
Matkarma krin matparmo madbhakta sangha varjita nir Nirvarai sarvabhuteshu.
Nirvaira.
Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu yasamameti pandava.
Yes, Mataji. Mat karma krim mad parama. Mad bhakta shanga varjita. Nirvaraha sarvabhuteshu.
Nirvairaha.
Nirvairaha sarvabhuteshu yasha yasa mameti pandava.
Very good. Yes, Param, you wanted to say it?
Okay, Mataji. But karma krit, but parabo. But karma krit, but parabo. But bhakta sanghavarjita. Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu. Yasa bhav iti pandava.
Very good. Always remember that when somebody else is saying the verse, you can at the back end with yourself mute, you can recite the verse. So the number of times if anybody is reciting, those many times you are also reciting the verse. Okay. Now, in this verses, like every word, like mat karmakrin, mat paramo, mat bhakta, sanghavarjita. These are nearly 5 instructions that the Lord has given us. Okay. So what we'll do is each of them, when we go ahead, we'll first know the meanings of the words, and then we'll go with the understanding. Okay. So we'll play our game so that it becomes easier for you to understand. Nirvairaha.
Without an enemy.
Without any
Physical activity
Without
or mental ritual.
Nirvairaha.
Without an enemy.
Without an
without
enemy.
an enemy.
Without an enemy. Sanghavarjitaha.
Freed from the
Free from the
contamination
contamination
of
of
physical
activities
activities
and
and
mental
speculation.
speculation.
Mental speculation.
Very good. I want everybody to say it so that we understand, each one understands it. Okay. So Sanghavarjita is freed from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation. Engaged in doing my work.
Matkarma
Mat
krit.
karma krit.
Karmakrit. Okay. O son of Pandu.
Pandava.
Pandava.
Pandava. So whom is over here in this particular verse? Whom is Krishna like pointing out to?
Arjuna.
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 Arjuna. Okay, because he was one of the Pandavas, so it is O son of Pandu. So this is Arjuna. Okay.
But Mataji, it would be the same though, because the Pandavas and Arjuna, because Arjuna is a part of the Pandavas.
Yes,
So
because
it
he is
would
one of
be,
the Pandavas.
yeah.
And in this specific verse, or when this verse specifically was spoken, Arjuna was there right in front of Krishna, right? So he was explaining him. So it is in this verse specifically, it is Arjuna. Eti.
Come.
Comes.
Comes.
Comes. Among all living entities.
Sarvabhutishu.
Sarvabhuteshu.
Sarvabhuteshu. Considering me the supreme.
Matparma.
Mat parama.
Matkarma.
Karma
Matkarma.
Bhakti.
Engaged in doing my work.
Haribo.
Mat bhakta.
Bhakta.
Engaged in doing my
Mat
work.
karma krit.
Matkarma krit.
Matkarmakrit. Engaged in my devotional service.
Mat bhakta.
Bhakta.
Bhakta. One who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sarva Bhuteshu.
Among all the
Among
living
all
entities.
Among all the living entities. Mam.
Unto me.
Unto me.
Onto me.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now over here, see the meanings. I want you to just emphasize on the meanings, and then we will go with the translation as well. So we will list it out. Okay, what are the instructions given by the Lord? So the first is engaged in doing my work. Second is considering me the supreme. Third is engaged in my devotional service. Fourth is freed from contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation. Fifth is without an enmity or without enemy. Okay. So these are the nearly 5 instructions that the Lord has given in one verse. And if somebody asks you that why is this verse so very important, or if somebody asks you, oh, you know what, like what do you think, what does the Lord want us to do, or what are the prime instructions of the Lord, so you should be able to recite this verse. Or when you are, suppose at a bookstall, and then you say that, you know what, the Lord has given instructions, and when a teacher gives instruction in a class, we all try to follow it. So if the Lord has given us the instructions, let's follow it. Then somebody asks you, what are the instructions which the Lord has given? So then Param, what would you answer? If somebody asks you, oh Param, what do you think? What are the instructions that the Lord has given you or given us all? What will you say, or which verse will you say? Jay,
Yeah.
if somebody asks you, Jay, which is the or what are the instructions which the Lord Krishna has given us in the Bhagavad Gita? Then
I
what will
would
you say?
say read and find out the meaning to verse 11.55 in Bhagavad Gita.
So can you recite this verse for them? Can you say this verse for them then?
Mat karma karmat parmo mad bhagavataha sangavarjatet nirvasara
Nirvairah
sarvabhuteshu
sarva. Okay, can you repeat
nirvaira
after me, Jay?
Okay.
Can you repeat after me? Mat
Okay.
karma krin mat paramo
Mat karma kren mat parmo
mad bhakta sangha varjita
mad bhakta sangavarjataha
nirvairah sarva bhuteshu
nirvaivaras barasuteshu
yah samameti pandava.
yasamamiti pandava.
Very good. Okay. So, then, okay. Subhadra Girdhari, can you read out the translation?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
My
My
dear
dear
Arjuna,
Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of the fruited activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me.
Okay, so these are the instructions which the Lord has given. So this is we'll name it over here. Okay, 1. Then it's 2. Then I've just marked it in a different color so that it becomes more easy for us to understand. 3. Then there's 4. And then there's 5. Okay. So these are the 5 instructions which the Lord has given. First is he who engages in my pure devotional service. Second, he who is free from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation. Third, he who works for me. Fourth is he who makes me the supreme goal of his life. And fifth, who is friendly to every living being. Now, can we just ponder upon ourselves and can we think about, like, are we trying our best to fulfill all these instructions of the Lord? Though it is my dear Arjuna, it can be my dear kids, my dear devotees, right? Anything over here it can be, right? So, are we following this? Are we engaging in the Lord's pure devotional service? That is, what are the pure devotional service? That is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. Are we at least trying to do this? Are we listening to the holy names of the Lord? Are we chanting? Are we doing Kirtan or chanting for the Lord? Are we remembering the Lord always? So we have to think for ourselves. That is the first. We also we know, you know what, many times what happens is that there is a problem but you do not have a solution. Over here there is a question given by the Lord, the answer is also given by the Lord, and we have to see that can we follow it. Okay. Free from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation. What do you feel? Are we trying to get free from the contamination of fruitive activities? How do we do that? How do we do that? Or how are we doing it? Yes? Anybody?
Mataji, what was the question?
How are we freeing ourselves from the contamination of the fruitive activities?
Oh,
Okay, let me
Mataji,
make it. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Girdhari.
yes, Mataji. So the answer to that question, like if we're free from our fruitive activities by if we're like not caring for the result, Mataji, if we don't like
Okay,
if we're
very good.
caring about the result and if we don't think about Krishna in our life, then in our life it'll be very useless.
And also, Mataji, I would like to add to my brother. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
how he said that like it's like how like how we can be like we shouldn't like care for our results of our fruitive activities. Instead, we should focus on our work and our task, and we should be blissful be of and offering obeisances unto the supreme personality of Godhead and Krishna.
And also,
Right. So
Mataji,
what?
offering all this, all the fruitive activities, all the results to Krishna, and thinking that Krishna is the
Is the
supreme
one
Lord. The Krishna is the supreme personality of God, and He's the Lord, and He maintains and He creates, He destroys, and He's the one
maintainer of the
who,
universe.
He's the
Right.
one who can wants us to be benefited from something.
Right. So whatever we do, whether first of all, whatever we do, it has to be in the service of the Lord. Whether we are building up a temple, whether we are cleaning the temple, whether we are offering something to the Lord, we are cooking for the Lord, or we are cleaning the temple premises or the temple, whatever we do, it has to be in the service of the Lord. And when we do it, you shouldn't come out of the temple, oh, you know what, today I had this service, today I did this. Then what will happen? That service, you will carry yourself along with that service everywhere. And then it will become a baggage for you. Instead, if we do any service, if we do anything for the Lord and just offer it to the lotus feet of the Lord, that Lord, thank you so much for we know what to do, but also we need to know how to do it, right? So if we just offer everything to the at this lotus feet of the Lord, then what happens? The things become easy. Then you are not carrying that with you. And then Krishna will take the weight and Krishna will do the needful, right? So by doing this, what happens is you are not taking the results. You do not wait. Oh, you know what, Krishna? Now I did this service. Now you have to give me this result for it. So you are not expecting in return for anything. And when you're not expecting anything in return, it becomes pure, unconditional devotional service. Otherwise, what happens is, okay, Jay says tells to his mom, okay, you know, mom, I'm going to help you with the dishes, but then you have to give me a treat or you have to do something for me. Jay, what do you feel? Is that a good thing to do, or does that work?
No.
It will work, but then what will happen? It will not be an unconditional service, right?
Yeah.
You'll say, oh, you know what, Krishna, please let my exam go very nice, and then I will offer you this flower, or I'll offer you that. Krishna is not waiting for your flower, or Krishna does not want you to bargain with him for anything, right? Because, and if it is for a love for Krishna, then Krishna will be like the fruit seller, and remember the fruit seller and the grains which Krishna gave in her what is that, in her in a basket. So if it is pure unconditional devotional service, okay, that unconditional word is very, very important. So once you do any service, once you're pleasing to trying to please the Lord, do not even think about it, just do it and then leave it to Krishna. That way you will not carry the weight of that service, and that service will become unconditional, pure devotional service. Because many a time we know devotional service, but we do not know how do we offer it to Krishna. Whenever you do any service and you're coming out of the temple, just stand in front of Krishna and say, Krishna, thank you so much for letting me do this service. Always have that attitude in your mind. Never feel that you are doing that service. Okay? It is only because the Lord is allowing you. That is the reason you're doing that service. Always have that in your back of your mind. Free from contamination of fruitive activities, right? So you're not going to carry that with you, so you will not be attached to that service. Suppose now every day you go to the temple and you're getting a chance to mop the floor in the temple room, okay? And then one day somebody else comes and does that service. So don't feel bad about it. You should be happy that somebody else is also getting a chance to do it, right? So what will happen? You're not getting attached to that service. You can do something else. It is not that service which is going to define you. So we have to be free from your contaminations. That service should not get onto you. You should be able to do any other service also, whichever is needed. He who works for me. Now, how do we work for Krishna? How will we work for
We can
Krishna?
do
Krishna?
Mataji, we
Ma-
can
and
chant.
offer him
Mataji, we can do
Okay.
all of the above, Mataji, with a pure heart.
Okay. So does that mean that I can build up a temple for the Lord?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Right?
yes.
Now, many of them will say, oh, everybody cannot build a temple. Right? So how then how can we contribute, or then how can we help in this, or how can we do this service?
By donating money, Mataji, for the temple's
Very nice.
construction.
So you
About
can
the
donate
we
money.
can But we can, because temples can't just be built and not do anything. So to keep the temple going, they need devotees. So
Right.
so basically, you could help whatever service is there, because it always whatever service you want, it's not always there. Because
Right. So
er,
you can do it in various ways. You can when a temple is getting built or when any other service comes up, you can volunteer over there. You can put up the bookstalls over there. You can help with donating for the temple, for the construction of the temple. You can help in cleaning the temple. You can help in keeping the premises clean. Right?
Mataji, also that yeah, Krishna wants us to come to him, and we should be proud. So then Krishna, he whenever we get proud of our service, he always gives it to someone else. So then he
He will
tries
help
to
you
make,
bring you. He will help you by bringing you
yeah,
down.
yeah, and then he's gonna make us feel how, and that he's helping us, but we think it's like in the wrong way. But
Yes,
Krishna is trying to
it's
help
nothing
us.
wrong.
Whatever
Right.
Krishna does is always to help us.
Right. So we have to make Krishna our supreme goal. And only when that goal is set, then we can move in that direction. And the very most important one, who is friendly to every living being, right? The devotee care which is there in this contemple, that is very important. That you have to be friendly to each and every person around. You do not need to carry enmity. Okay. Over here in the verse, you remember over here, Nirvairaha. Okay, Vair is what? Enemy. So a person who is not an enemy to anybody else, right? Sarva Bhuteshu, like to everybody else, you do not have to have enmity. Now, when this verse explanation was going on, just imagine over here, Krishna is giving this instruction to Arjuna on the battlefield. Okay, just imagine the irony over here. If somebody has to really dig into this verse, what will happen? Krishna is telling Arjuna, do not have any envious thoughts or do not be an enemy to anyone. But then what is Arjuna waiting for on the battlefield? What is Arjuna waiting to do?
His enemies, like to fight
He has
for
enemies in front of him. He is ready to fight. Krishna is instructing him because Krishna is instructing him to pick up his bow and arrow and fight. But at the same time, in this verse, Krishna is saying, Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. You do not have to be an enemy to anyone. That becomes a hard to understand situation, right? That Arjuna is waiting. to consider everybody else's enemy and fight with them. But at the same time, Krishna is saying that you do not have to be to do not have to be enmity to anybody else and be a friend to everyone. Does somebody want to throw light on this, or does anybody want to give their understanding of how is this going to work?
Mataji, you were about to say something to me?
Yeah, so what the question for everybody is that Krishna is explaining Arjuna in the third line, Nirvairaha Sarva Bhuteshu. That means you do not have to have enmity to anybody else. Anybody. To among all the living entities, you do not have to be an enemy. But all this is happening on the battlefield where Krishna is urging, or Krishna is explaining Arjuna that why is it important to fight. But then
Mataji,
Krishna is saying you do not have to be an enemy, but at the same time he is on the battlefield and he has to fight. So how do we explain that?
Mataji, I have a perfect explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Krishna wants us devotees, as like Arjuna represents a devotee, and the battlefield of Kurukshetra is basically his daily like enemies that want to always be jealous of, not jealous. I mean, always like constantly doing fights all the time in the day. That's called daily life in Kali Yuga. So our Krishna is saying, if you want to be free from all enemy without an enemy, basically, if you're in daily life, you have to think about Krishna constantly, even though you're in the battlefield of Kurukshetra or everyday life. If you're still there, you have to think about Krishna, and always be humble, always be gentle, always
Yeah,
be polite.
right.
That's
So,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the answer again is in the first line. Mat karma krin. That means engaged in doing my work. And what was the reason that Krishna had come to this material world? One of the reasons, to kill the miscreants, right? So, the miscreants, those who have a wrong mentality, those who are not good for the society, Krishna had come to eliminate them from this world. So, it was this work of Krishna which has to be done. So, though Arjuna is going to kill the Kauravas, this is the work which is assigned by Krishna. So, if it is assigned by Krishna, then it is, though it is an enemy standing in front, it still needs to be done by Arjuna. Now, again, the second thought over here is Nirvairaha. That means you are killing your enemy, but you do not have to have anemic thoughts about them, because it was according to their deeds that they were getting the punishments, right? So you do not have to have the enmity over these people. Because remember what we say is hate the sin, not the sinner. So Arjuna was not having any enmity towards Bhishma, any enmity towards the Kauravas. Whatever they did, according to that, they were going to get the results. So you do not have to be an enemy to them, but at the same time, you are trying to kill uh, um, the wrong mentality of that soul or of that person. Okay. So doing that, it is nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. Okay. So one who is friendly to every living being. And you know what? As devotee, if we remember this verse, this line, one who is friendly to every living being, what happens with us is, when a new devotee comes to the temple, we are very polite to that person. We are like, okay, eyes and ears with him, like paying attention to him. One second, okay, just give me a minute. Tiger. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so when a new devotee comes to the temple, we are very good to that person, and then once that devotee gets a little bit more, like gets along with everyone, then you start feeling, oh, he's taking my service, he's doing that, he's doing that. So you should not have those thoughts. So every person or every devotee should be very friendly to each and every other devotee. So these are the instructions which are given by the Lord. Okay. This verse I wanted to take it up in two parts. Maybe in the next part we'll have some more stories with it. Over here, remember, even the Lord could not, even Lord Brahma could not stop from being envious of Krishna. Remember the Brahma Vimohan Leela? Everybody knows that,
Yes, Mataji.
right? Then Krishna, like Kamsa and Krishna, the relation between Kamsa and Krishna, it was like the Kamsa was always thinking of Krishna. So it is whether it was maybe because of the Leelas which happened, it was that Kamsa was always remembering Krishna, but maybe in a negative way, but at least he was remembering Krishna. We are so proud of ourselves that, oh, you know what, yes, I'm a Bhakta, I'm not like Kamsa. But are we remembering Krishna? That is very, very important. So Kamsa, though he was an enemy to Krishna, but from the very beginning, even before Krishna's birth, he was still thinking about Krishna. So imagine, like, if he would have thought about Krishna in a positive way, it would have been so good for him, right? So whatever thing, whatever way, but at least he was remembering the Lord in some way or the other. Okay, can you name devotees who sacrificed their Lord, their life to propagate the holy names of the Lord? Can we think about at least two names?
Haridas Thakur.
Okay. Anybody else?
And
And
the
Dhruv Maharaj.
Mm-hmm. Who's you said Subhagurdhari?
Mataji, first I said Haridas Thakur and Dhruv Maharaj.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I said Prahlad Maharaj and the Prabhu.
Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj. Yes. You want to say something, Isha?
I was gonna say Prahlad Maharaj also.
Prahlad Maharaj, right? He risked his life even with at
That's
the
Srila
cost of.
Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, right. So they sacrificed their life or they put their life in danger only to propagate the holy names of the Lord. Right? The devotees in Russia, they are doing so much, like when they have so much of restrictions, yet they are trying their best to they've tried their best to propagate the holy names of the Lord. So these are the major instructions which the Lord has given. Okay. So are we all, do we have another 5 minutes, everyone? 5-7 minutes?
No, Mataji, because we have a character class, Mataji.
Okay, okay. So what I'm going to do is maybe next week what we'll do is we'll start with this drawing. Okay. And then I have to another 2-3 stories related to this verse, and we'll continue with this verse. Okay. So we will do the instruments of Ryan. Are you there? Okay, I think Ryan is not there. So I know everybody must be having some class or something. What we'll do is next week we'll start with these the instruments. First we have done the human beings, how to draw in Varli painting. Second we did the animals or the birds, how we draw in Varli painting. So third is I'll put the screenshots in the group so that if you want to practice it this week, and then next week it will be easier for you all. Okay, so see, like in this Varli painting they are having the drum, a trumpet, then there is another drum that they are playing. So and then there is this damru. So I'll post this in the group as well, and next week we'll start with this and then end with and then go with our class. Is that okay,
Yes, Mataji.
everyone? Okay. So today we got carried away with the verse and the stories. So next week we will complete that, the some more stories, and then we'll go with this. Is that okay?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll end our class over here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Kalpatarubhasya
kripa
kripasindhuvaya bhaja Ananta Gauti Vashramita Ki Jai, Pad Ki Jai, Mataji Ki Jai. Hare
Jai.
Krishna Mataji,
Hare
Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna, Danvat Pranam, Hari Bol. Okay, I'll end the call, okay?